Hey everyone, it's Kelly. I am back today with a double page Project Life spread, and I am documenting week 23, which is, I have the spread next to me here, which is June 3rd through June 9th. And I am going to be using the June Citrus Twist Kits Life Crafted kit. And it is a craving themed kit, which actually worked out really well for my photos this week because I have a ton of food photos. I did not plan it out to be that way. This kit arrived on my doorstep, and when I was going through my pictures, I realized how many food pictures I had. So I thought it would be perfect to use this kit for this week. So again, this is a very raw video. I had no plan in place other than my photos and the kit that I wanted to use. So I went ahead and trimmed all my photos out and placed them around the spread. And now I'm going through the Project Life cards to see which cards will work best where. I did receive a request on my last Project Life process video to go into a little bit more detail on how I use visual triangles in my spread. So I'm going to talk about that for just a moment here while I'm getting all of the cards laid out. When I create visual triangles, I typically use the visual triangles when it comes to color and when it comes to product type. So puffy stickers, hearts, stars, anything that has a shape to it, I will use a visual triangle with that. If you're new to scrapbooking, visual triangles are just what they sound like. So it's a triangle that you draw with your eye when you're looking around a spread or a layout. So for instance, with this layout, I have 3 black and white photos and I have placed them in 3 different areas on the layout. And if you were to draw a line with your eye, you can see that it creates a triangle. That just helps your eye bounce around the layout. I try to do the same thing with color, and as you can see, I have that purple 4x6 card on the bottom left. I have that floral card on the upper right that has that purple color, and then I intend to add some purple to my title card, which again will create a visual triangle. So that is what I do when I am creating these spreads. It's something that comes fairly naturally to me now. It's not something that I have to really think too hard about. If I'm creating a spread, I kind of step back and take a look at it as I'm creating it to see where my eye dances and how my eye bounces around the layout. So if that's something that you struggle with, that's something that I would recommend, is just to play a little bit and then take a step back, maybe even walk away from your desk for a minute and then come back and just take a look at your spread and see how your eye flows around the layout to see if you need additional color somewhere or if you need additional embellishing somewhere. So I only had 12 photos this week. Typically I have 14. At the most, I think I have 16 photos per week. So this is really giving me a chance to really play with product and really use up a lot of my cards because I do only have 2 4x6 photos. So I have lots of areas to add cards and journaling, which I love. I'm going to do a ton of stamping on this spread, and I cut out when I would clean my stamps because I do clean my stamps after I use them every time I use them, and I do put them away immediately so that way I do not lose them. I just use a stamp chamois to clean my stamps. It's off camera right now. It's just kind of tucked up at the top of my desk. I'll just grab it, wipe my stamp off, and then put my stamp away. I'm using white and black ink to stamp on my photos, and I think that I stamped on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my photos. So I did a lot of stamping directly on the photos. I also stamped a lot on my journaling cards, and that's just something that I really, really enjoy. I feel like it adds an additional texture without really adding any dimension, which I think is a great way to bring your spreads to life. If there's a certain stamp set that I use that you're interested in, please let me know which card or photo it's stamped on, and I will make sure to post the link to it for you if it's something that is still available. Now, I have a lot of different things happening on my spread this week, so while I am stamping, I'm just going to kind of go through the different photos, and I like to do that because I hope it gives you some idea of what to include in Project Life. I am new to Project Life. If this is the first video that you happen to be watching, this is the first year that I have ever documented in this format. I really like 12 by 12 scrapbook layouts, and I did a memory planner for a while as well, but I wanted to try something different this year, so I decided to go ahead and try Project Life. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my spread here and just kind of go over what the different photos are. On the left-hand side of the page, I have my title card that will be in the top left-hand corner. And then I have a photo of the office that I work at. I work in dental. Again, if this is your first video that you have ever watched of mine, and I work at 2 different locations. The doctor that I work for has 2 offices. So this is one of the offices that I work at. I will add a stamp to that photo as well. On the bottom or in the middle left, I have a picture of a Cheetos bag, which is really random and I know it's really strange, but it's something that I have been craving lately. And I have never really liked Cheetos before, but it's something that we seem to have in our house all the time now. And it seems to be one of my favorite go-to snacks, which I know is terrible because they're terrible for you, but it's something that I'm really enjoying at the moment. So I snapped a picture of that. Then I will have just a decorative pocket card in the space next to that. And then the photo next to that is of me and my cat. And I just journaled directly onto the photo about how he likes to snuggle and how he wants to be right in my face all the time. He's not a lap cat, he's a neck cat. He wants to be kind of wrapped around your neck. So I documented that on that card. And then I have the card that says story time that's kind of hidden underneath that white piece of paper there. That is just a book review that I did of a book that I was reading. Unfortunately, it was not a book that I really enjoyed. So I just wrote a little bit about what I didn't like about the book and how I felt about it. The bottom left-hand side is going to be a 4x6 space. I was on vacation this day from work. I took a day off work and it was a rainy day. So I just talked about that a little bit. Rainy days are my favorite. So I was not at all disappointed that it was raining that day. It was a perfect day to stay inside and work on scrapbook layouts and process videos. The bottom right hand pocket is going to be a decorative card, and it's that purple card, and it has a title on the top of it that says currently craving. I really like that card. It would be great to use for a lot of different ways. You could put journaling in there. You could add photos in there. There are so many cute die cuts in this kit that I just grabbed some die cuts that really fit what I was craving at the moment. So there was some chipboard pieces on there that had a coffee cup and a piece of pizza. So I added those, a book, some ice cream, tacos, strawberries, and there was a me time die cut in there. And I thought that those all worked really well within this card and really kind of summed up things that I am currently craving. So on the right hand side of the spread, on the top photo, again, both of the top areas are 4x6 photos or 4x6 pockets, but I did not have 4x6 photos to put in there. So I just placed 2 3x4 photos and then some journaling cards. So on the top part of the layout is a photo of my son at the doctor, and I will actually have a PicMonkey tutorial coming up tomorrow to show you how I erased some of the background on that photo. There was gloves and a phone on the wall that is currently blank, and I erased those from the images so I could add some stamping on top of that photo. But that will be coming up tomorrow, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And then I just added some journaling with the card that I'm going to place in that same pocket. And this photo was actually taken when I took my son to the doctor. He is going to be going into 6th grade, so he needed to get his immunization. So that was when we went in there. And I just talked about how brave he was. And he's always been brave when it comes to shots, but it was just one of those moments that I realized how much he is growing up. So in the 4x6 pocket next to that is a picture of some popcorn and a chocolate bar. Again, a lot of food in the spread. Chocolate and popcorn are 2 of my favorite combos. So I just snapped a picture of that, and I added a little bit of text to the photo before I printed it. And then I will place a journaling card, which I am adding some floral embellishments to right now. I didn't have a whole lot to say about that photo, but I wanted to add just a little bit of text about the picture. That chocolate bar is actually a DeBrand's chocolate bar. So if you're from the Fort Wayne area, DeBrand's is a chocolate company in that area. They make delicious chocolate, and we got that chocolate bar as part of our May bonus for work, and I saved it to eat with some of my popcorn. Because I didn't have a whole lot to say on that card, I did add some extra embellishing to that card. So the florals on the bottom edge of that card are actually pre-printed on the card, and then I went through the die cut pack and added some matching florals to the top of the card, and then also added a puffy sticker. The photo that is going to be in the middle section all the way on the left side, I'm actually going to do some swapping around with my pictures. So at the end, you'll see that it's actually going to be the pictures of the cookies, and I will add a die cut and a puffy sticker to that as well a little bit later on in the video. The photo that will end up in the spot next to that is of the pizza, and I trimmed down the photo to fit onto that 3x4 card. It says let's eat, and I thought that the colors matched the pizza really well, so I thought that those would go together really nicely. The photo, or I'm sorry, the pocket next to that is again going to be a decorative element. It's the rainbow card. That is my favorite card in the entire kit. So I knew that I wanted to use it right away. That is something that I'm finding with Project Life, that I am much more apt to using the product versus in my 12x12 scrapbooking, I really like to hoard products. So I don't know why that is different when it comes to Project Life, but I'm happy that it is because I'm actually using the products that I really, really love. So I added a couple die cuts on top of that, and the larger die cut says craving this right now, and then I added that sunshine and rainbow die cut on top of that. I did place some dimensional foam behind that just to help raise it off the page a little bit, so it'll add some dimension in the pocket. The photo next to that is going to be the photo of me and my dog, which I am working on right now. And I grabbed this leatherette sticker from a previous kit and added it onto my photo. I did not like how it looked, and I use Canon photo paper, and I print in a large format photo printer, and adhesives do not play nicely with this photo paper that I use. So anytime I stick something down, I need to make sure that it is something that I want to keep there, because if I try to peel it off, all the adhesive sticks to the photo. So I am in a dilemma now where I either need to trim my photo down or I need to reprint it because there's this big strip of adhesive on it. So I went back through the Pocket Life cards and I found that really pretty printed card. It had a really neutral background, and I thought that it would work really well with my photo. I do like a white border around my photos, so I will add some white cardstock to the back of that photo just to add a matte. And I am going to use that Snuggles die cut on top of the photo. So it's going to be pretty much positioned just like this. Again, I'm going to shuffle my photos around a little bit. And here you can see that I am kind of working on that right now. I thought maybe I would move that rainbow card over to the left-hand side of the spread, but there's so much color on that side that I felt like it was really unbalanced if I moved that photo or that Pocket Life card over there. So I decide to see if I can try to switch some other cards around to help spread the color around, but I'm just not really happy with how that's looking. So I decided to go ahead and switch it back to how I originally had it. So while I shuffle those cards and photos around a little bit, I'm going to finish talking about the pictures that I have on my spread. That bottom photo on the right-hand side of the spread, that's in the left spot, is a picture of my cat outside. And there was a lot of green on the photo. I thought about adding text directly to the photo before I printed it, but I just really didn't like how it looked. So I thought maybe I would try to see if there were some products that would work well with that photo, and I found a journaling card and then also a frame in the die cut pack. So I added my journaling to the card, trimmed it down, and then adhered the frame on top of that. And I really like how that fills in that space. The last photo that I have on the spread is a picture of a book that I am currently reading. Riley Sager is my favorite author, and Book of the Month released his newest book early, and I had to pick that as one of my June picks. So I snapped a picture of it because I started reading it as soon as it hit my doorstep, and I journaled a little bit about how he's my favorite author and how I was so excited to get the book. And then I also added some stamping to that card. I happen to have a gray ink that matched the pre-printed happening right now on the top of the card, and I used that to stamp a book icon and then also currently reading. So my title card is usually one of the last things that I work on. I don't really know why that is. It just seems to be how my process works. So I added some floral die cuts to the card just to kind of incorporate that floral theme. Again, with the visual triangle, I have the florals on the top left. I have that floral frame with the picture of my cat, and then I also have the florals on the top right with that journaling card. I did add a label with my title card, and I used the Puffy Alphas from the kit to add the week number. I like to stamp my date somewhere on the spread. It doesn't necessarily have to be on my title card, but in this instance, I did stamp it onto the title card. So I'm still continuing on with some more stamping. I do like to use stamping for journaling as well. I think that sentiment stamps can really help tell the story along with your journaling. So I use a wide variety of manufacturers for the stamps that I use in Project Life. On this spread alone, I have some Allie Edwards, I have Citrus Twist, I have Carrie Bradford, and I think that, oh, and I do have Studio Calico on there as well. So again, just a wide variety of different manufacturers. I like to kind of shop around, and I try to pick stamp sets that I know that I will use multiple times over and over again. I think that stamps are an investment, but definitely something that you can get your money's worth if you pick the right stamps that you know that you'll use repeatedly. So right now I'm really struggling with that card on the left-hand side of my spread. I felt like it looked really flat. I have a lot of embellishing and a lot of dimension kind of going around the page, and that card was just all by itself. It was just a card stuck in the pocket. It would have been fine to leave it that way, but I felt like it needed something. So I played around with some die cuts, didn't really like how any of those looked, and I finally decided that I wanted to add some stamping again to tell a little bit more of a story. That card has different words going down it in an ombre fashion, and it has the words needing, wanting, loving, craving, longing, pining, and wishing. So I thought it would be fun to grab some stamps from my stash and add just a little bit of text to that. Again, stamping adds some texture without adding any dimension, and I really feel like it made a huge difference with this card, just adding a few sentiment strips along with those words. So with the wanting area, I put mornings without an alarm. In the craving area, I put coffee in hand. And in the pining area, I put family visits. And I tried a few different color inks. I knew I wanted to use a purple color, but I wasn't sure what shade of purple to use. So when in doubt, I just grab a scrap piece of paper and I just stamp it out in the various different colors to see which one I think will look best. So I ended up going with a ink color from Close to My Heart. I believe it's a retired ink. And I added those sentiments, and it just made such a big difference to that card. So the sentiments could not have been more perfect. I have a few days off work this week as well, and I am loving not having to set an alarm. Obviously, I always love having coffee in hand, and I am really missing my family right now with the virus. We are not seeing each other nearly as often, so it has been something that has been difficult and something that I am looking forward to seeing them very, very soon. So here are some still shots of the spread. I hope that you found this video helpful and enjoyable. If you did, please leave me a comment or like this video. Again, that is the only way that I know if you are enjoying these videos and if you would like to see more of them. So remember, tomorrow I will have that PicMonkey tutorial up, so keep your eye out for that, and I'll be back again soon. Thanks for watching.